Hi, my name is Jason Morse. I am talking here about the cultural work of stereotypes, DCX class that I teach in the autumns. My work is in this area. So I got my PhD from UW in UW Seattle, and I study African American lit, but also stereotypes and uh, 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 ways the cultural texts engage them. So this class, that just allows me to talk about this stuff in a lot of different ways. So whatever students come with, we can sort of engage what's interesting to them. So I also sort of have increasingly separated this class into a sort of thinking about the way that stereotypes are thought about most often in scholarship right now, which is in a social science vein. So we start with things like stereotype threat and how that affects students, because I think that's a useful thing for all students to engage actually. But and then also implicit bias and the terms microaggression, which are all sort of ways that they get talked about. And then we sort of shift into the cultural studies vein of what of thinking about how cultural texts like literature, poems, film, um, drama, graphic novels. We read one of those, and then also a lot of visual artwork. How those uh, forms of cultural knowledge work to engage the effects of stereotyping, to let people know how that affects the people, but also to sort of work against the stereotyping, or at least to try to think about how to represent, people in other ways, but also offering ways of thinking about stereotypes themselves as forms of power, right? So this is a kind of topic that a lot of people come with preconceived notions about, and then we really think about stereotypes as a form of racial, gender, sexual, class, disability, ethnicity, power, right, in those forms. So, yeah, and then the class also has a variety of assessment opportunities. So, I do have midterms and finals, but they're take home, and I really am interested more in just like asking you to think about questions and use the ideas that we've talked about. So they're not got you kind of exams. They're sort of just like develop your thinking exams. There's weekly posts where I ask you to like analyze a quote that can be used in your exams, and then we'll have face-to-face classes. We'll have presentations where you sort of a group of students will introduce a text that day, whatever we're reading that day, and then also a creative project, which is actually a lot of fun, but also it's really useful to sort of think about these ideas through the production of another kind of knowledge, right? We're going to talk a lot about cultural texts and how they produce knowledge about stereotypes. So actually doing one of those is great. And also students have a lot of fun with this. And we put them all together into a display on campus once because they were just so good and they just really smart. So, all right, looking forward to it. And I will see you in autumn.